Hey folks, welcome back. So today we are building another chicken coop. So I've got a neighbor that I go do a little work for, help him out from time to time. And her chicken coop, she's probably had, it's probably about as old as me. It hasn't held up nearly as well. And so earlier this year, I think it was this past spring, she asked if maybe I could build her a new one. She wanted it built exactly the same way as the one that she has now, but she just needed a new one. And she said, you know, whenever you get it done, fine. I just want it done before we start getting like colder, freezing weather, snow, anything like that. So seeing as we are getting on here into October and we're getting towards that time of year, I figured it's probably about time that I start working on this project. Now, I've already started doing a little bit of work here, getting some stuff cut to length. She had a lot of the stuff on hand. We got a bunch of 2x4s over here, had some plywood, most of the stuff that we needed. One change that we're making to her coop that she has now to the new one is that we're going to put this one on some 4x4 skids. That way she can kind of move it around a little bit if she wants to. And for connecting our post, which that's what these 4x4s are here, these are going to be upright, and then they go into the coop and kind of tie the rest of the coop down to the skids. And then the coop will be like a foot off the ground. Now, for connecting our uprights to the skids, I really couldn't find any sort of brackets that I liked. I'm looking for sort of a right angle bracket like that I can put in there to connect those two things together. And so what I decided to do instead is just make some. Now, I've already got our little pieces of metal cut to length and holes drilled and all that sort of stuff. So at this point, we're going to start putting stuff back together. We got the welder over here, and we're going to see if we can't make some little brackets for this chicken coop. Well, I almost got them finished. Got a little bit left to go along there, and then a little bit on either side there to kind of connect the two flats together. But I am out of flux core wire for the welder, so I guess I didn't realize I was quite that low on it. So I'm gonna have to hold off finishing these for the time being. I think this one's good enough that I can go ahead and start using these, start assembling stuff with the coop. It's 60-70% welded, so I think that should be good enough for the time being. And then we can start building the coop, and then next time I'm in town I can pick up some more wire for the welder. Alright, so it seems I made a slight error in planning here. And so as you can see, I've already got the lid for the nest box on here. And down here, we just got a little latch here. And this actually turns so that way that can lock that. And then you can run a little pin through there as well to give a second little layer of security or something on there. And then what I did is I put in an eye bolt up here. So that way, got a little S-hook around here someplace. Where did that go? I don't know. So then you can take that same hook that you're using down here, and I'm just gonna put a little S-hook through there, and that way that keeps it from coming down on your hands while you're collecting eggs. Only problem is I forgot that right here is where that 2x4 is right there. So as you can see, I had to get in there and cut out just a little bit of that 2x4 so that where that bolt comes through there, I was able to get a nut on there and get that fastened in place there. So it's all good now, but I knew I messed up when I was putting the hole in for the bolt, and I kept on going in and going in. I thought, man, it's still hitting wood. Yeah. So next up, we are going to put in some windows here, and we're gonna have a long one that goes across this side, and then we'll have another long one on the other side. Now, for the lower side here, what I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna have it hinge on the bottom. So when you open the window, it'll kind of fold down. And that way, you don't need any sort of a latch or anything like that to keep your window open. You just kind of unhook it up at the top, drop your window down, and it's open, you're good to go. Now, for the taller side, that's not gonna work, because if I want to be able to open this up and not have that run into the window, I've only got so much space right here. So this one, I'm gonna have to figure out a way to get it to latch up instead, because otherwise it's gonna be overlapping with our nest box lid. Alright, so I think we are getting close to being done with this thing. I got the roost in here, we've got our doors on, and so basically, yeah, all we've got left is just to stain it. Now, one thing I did with the roost is I've actually made it so it's removable. So this can lift up, and then we can just kind of lift it up and bring it right out through the door. And so that way, if you're cleaning or whatever inside here, this is out of the way. It makes a little bit more room in there to work with, even though it's not a whole lot to start with. But what we're gonna do next is we're just gonna go over this real quick with the sander, try to get a little bit of the dirt and the pencil marks and all that sort of stuff off from here, smooth it out just a bit. And then we're gonna hit it with some stain, and I think that'll pretty much do it.